Today's episode of the Records Show, we're going to be discussing a project by one of my all-time favorite artists, Max B, a.k.a. Max Bigavelli, a.k.a. the Silver Surfer. This project is called $1 Million Baby 2. It's a mixtape. Maybe you heard of it. Maybe you were sleeping. Either way, you know I'm fucking with it. And the big question that we have to figure out is if Domincello feel the same way or if I need to find a new co-host. Stay tuned for the Records Show, coming at that ass right now. Back like I forgot my car keys. Ow.
You hear something, make sure you hear it right. Records. You heard the word, niggas know the style now. You heard records. You heard records. You heard records. I know you heard of that. Who you know do it better? Fuck what you heard. Fuck what you heard. Fuck what you heard. You heard me, polish it. You heard records.
Good evening and welcome to the Records Show. I'm Domincello and I'm here today with fucking artist, asshole, great predictor, rapsman, Prezzy. How you doing?
What's going on, my brother? Good to be here. Good to be here on the Records Show. What's going on, my brother?
Not too much. Yo, today we're going to be getting into an artist I know you're extremely fond of. Good old Max Bigavelli. We're going to be going over his
Silver
mixtape.
Surfer.
Yeah, Silver Surfer, wavy.
The wave man. The
And
tsunami.
we'll be going
Max
over his
Bigavelli.
his mixtape, Million Dollar Baby 2. But you know what's interesting about this guy, right? And I know you already know, but I'm going to just try to phrase this a little bit. He's got a hell of a background. A lot of people don't know who he is. I know I might have heard of him, but I didn't really get into it until you kind of turned me on to it about a year or two ago. His kind of window out there was also really small, which we'll get into for a little in a little bit for a few reasons. But you know, I wanted to start off with some history here, right? So Max B's definitely got like a pretty checkered background. He's been, you know, very connected with Dipset, Cameron, and Jim Jones. What did that look like? How come a lot of us haven't heard of him? And while he was kind of so close to everything, how come his name never really got out there like that?
The first thing I would point to is time. Like the way that things worked out. I'm one of. I don't think I'm in the minority of people who, if you were real tuned into kind of like the underground or if you were outside a lot, you know, in the streets where you know, you got to understand Dipset at the time, like 05, 06 was putting out like, you had their albums and all that stuff, but all the like up and coming new Dipset signees were putting out mixtapes, and then the DJs were putting out compilations of Dipset. So there's certain, like for example, Harlem. I mean, you know, it was inescapable, right? Mm-hmm. And so Max had just kind of started like bubbling off of the fact that he did a bunch of stuff on Jim Jones's projects, and mainly hooks. But to anyone who listened to a Jim Jones album, I can't imagine that you didn't leave there going, that guy Max B is something else. Like he just absolutely crushed everything he did.
So that when he was on the hooks with that early Jim Jones shit, he was actually on the hooks. He wasn't writing it for him or anything.
Well, that's where that comes into play. Like later on, right? So like, for example, the first time I heard Max B was a song called G's Up, and it was on Jim Jones's project. And what's funny is, I'm obvious. Well, anyone who doesn't know this, I'm a huge Cameron fan. I think he's one of the absolute like best examples of staying ahead of the curve and having a longevity on your own terms. in this game. On top of the fact that I just think his raps are fucking hysterical. I mean, he's up there for me.
Yeah, he's got a personality that is in its own fucking department. You know what I mean?
And it's so
loud.
conveyed through his music. Like, it's not like you wouldn't know like Big L, for example, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone who knew Big L says he was one of the funniest people in the world. But like, you wouldn't get that from listening to his music.
True.
Like,
I mean, after you say it, though, I can kind of see it, but I definitely wouldn't have said that.
Well, because some of the
first.
punchlines were funny as hell, right?
Yeah.
But like, overall, you didn't think like this guy's a jokester. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the impression that, or at least I did.
Yeah, Big L's coming to get you type of shit.
Yeah, I mainly thought he was going to kill me.
Yeah, I very much thought the same when I was younger too.
Right? So,
yeah.
So I, as much a Cam fan as I was, of course, I liked Dipset, but like, I more or less, anytime there was a Dipset song, I was just fast forwarding to the Cam verse. I didn't like Santana. I didn't like Jim Jones at all. Santana was growing on me as time went on. Jim Jones, I thought, was like, dude, what kind of favor did you do that you're fucking allowed to rap on all these fucking records? I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, I was
really
never a big fan of his person. Everything about him kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Anything he had done up until his first album, meaning on the Diplomat albums, the Cam albums, it was always just like, why would you put this on here? Like, it's not good. And for what, I forget, I still don't know the exact reason, but, because my little brother had bought the Jim Jones album.
Okay.
Right? And me, at the time, we used to DJ like parties in the summer. And so we were fucking taking a ride out, and my brother was driving, and he had a Chevy Blazer, and he's like, yo, you ready to listen to that Jim Jones? Knowing that I absolutely was not ready to listen to that Jim Jones. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I can see that.
And if I'm not mistaken, it's track 2 is G's Up. And it's like this hook. And it's just like, G's up, hoes down. If that bitch can't swim, she gon' drown. Running the streets, toting the 4 pound. It's like, whoa, like, who is this? And, I'm not reading the album. Like, I'm with my brother, so we're getting ready to DJ a party. So the album is on in the background. Okay. And I realize towards the end, I'm like, I've enjoyed this album way more than I thought I would. And, come to find out, Max B is heavily involved in the creation of that record, from writing verses allegedly that still has not been confirmed or denied by certain parties, but it stands to reason when you look at the leap in fucking quality alone. And then, like I said, the hooks, Max had knocked out, if I'm not mistaken, at least 3 hooks on that project. If not, that was the thing that I realized, like, this guy's special. Like,
yeah, his hooks are on a
what
completely other level.
Yeah, I was like, this guy's a whole different deal. And so I remember, this is still, 2006, 7 maybe, let's say. Like, around that time, I would always get mixtapes online, right? And you could download stuff online too. And so I just started looking for Max B. And it was not much. You'd find like little stuff here, little stuff there. But
like a track here, track there, not like a whole album.
Yeah, or like a hook that I hadn't heard, that he was on this song with these guys. I didn't know about that song, that's cool, add that, to it. But then things get interesting because Max gets hit with So actually, hold on. So now Jim Jones is working on the next album. At this point, he's put together a group, members of Bird Gang, right? So it's like Max B, I think Stack Bundles, if I'm not mistaken, Mel Matrix. Like, there's a few people in this group. Okay. And at the time, Max is trying to work on his album. And every time he's handing I got this thing I'm working on for my album, Jones is like, no doubt, puts it on the fucking Bird Gang album, you know? And so
Oh, wow,
Max
they were
is getting-
pulling his tracks meant for albums onto that shit?
like when
Or that was the
you're-
word or whatever?
when you're coming into a situation like Max went to Cam first to get signed,
Okay.
and Cam was like, yo, I can't do that, you know, because like they grew up together, all these guys.
Yeah, I was
right?
reading they were in the same fucking building.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
is wild. Yeah.
Cam felt like because of Max being in and out of jail, and he didn't think he took it serious. Like Cam knew the business side enough to be like, you know, are you serious? Like, I don't think that, you know, like
the kind of shit that I see
Max's
that you're doing.
Max's nickname in the streets before rap was Charlie Rambo. All right.
Yeah.
Because that's how Max was getting down.
Yeah, it was
You know
crazy.
what I'm saying? He was out there like Rambo. Okay. Max B was what he came up with when he was in prison. He came up with this persona to rap with. But Charlie Rambo is who Cam knows. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so he's like,
No, that makes
Charlie
sense.
Rambo's gonna rap? Like, the fuck out of here. Like, you know, this guy's he's robbing everything in sight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not.
No,
And
because bro,
Jim-
one of the things that like, and why I wanted to kind of make sure we talked about this at this point before we even get into the album, because if I read this correctly, he was in prison from '97 to 2005, right? And then just a short 3.5 years later, 4 years later, back in for a 75-year sentence that ends up getting changed down the road. But like, where is he doing all this? You know what I'm saying?
So-
Those 3 years he's out, is he writing a shit ton while he's in prison? Was he fucking writing since he was 16 or 15? Like, it's just wild how much he did. When you look at it, he didn't have a lot of flexibility for fucking 15 years out of the 20. You know?
I mean, in my opinion, and again, I'm probably in a minority of people that holds Max in as high a regard as I do as an artist. But one of the main things I point to is that like, this dude spent a decade behind bars, being fucking totally institutionalized, etc. Managed to cultivate this totally unique style during that time period, come out and create such a buzz for himself, and create so much material in that short amount of time. To me, it's like, that's one of the most brilliant artistic minds in hip hop ever.
Yeah.
That's how I feel
I mean,
about
there's
it.
definitely something to that. I have a feeling what he does with himself when he comes out is really going to further define that, right? Like, either he takes that and crystallizes it, or he fucks it up somehow. And hopefully he doesn't fuck it up.
You know, yes and no. I mean, I would say he's got a lot of people that, you know, cite him as an influence. I mean, I was over the moon when I found out that one of my favorite artists currently, you know, Rock Marciano, is a huge Max B fan. I was like, get the hell out of here. Like, that's if I could, you know, create the dream collabo, it would be Alchemist produced, you know, Marcy and fucking Max B on it. I mean, like,
That would be
that's
something.
that's something for the ages. Or maybe even throw Pusha T on there just to get a sharp edge on it too, you know? But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But so
Because he's
that's
he's got this sound, like, you know, rap it, like, you know, you can really only approach it so many ways, but he came into this spot from when I listen that just is, nobody else is rapping like that, you know. And the hooks to me is just what's the most mesmerizing, because, like, you know, I was reading that he used to sing when he was a kid and shit, so I have a feeling he actually can sing really well, and he's actually, all of that is obviously intentional, but it's like, the way he sings these hooks sometimes almost sounds offbeat, or he's got double voices. The engineer put one of them at a different tone, so it's like kind of off. But it's captivating somehow. It's like the hooks are mesmerizing. It's probably some of my most favorite aspects of this shit. You know,
I I definitely agree, and I would say to the component about the singing, you know, like coming from someone who's never had any formal vocal training myself, but someone who records music, I think if you are immersed in any sound enough, and you spend enough time around any sound, you're going to learn how to write it. If you have that in you, if you have that writing gift in you, you'll learn how to write that kind of with those melodies. And you've heard some of the hooks that I've done that, you know, I'm not a singer, but there's a ton of melody in a lot of these songs.
That are catchy, yeah.
And I think that Max, because of his background with, you know, I think he's like grandmother choir, some sort of deal.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm sure he spent enough time around it that he knew how to write it, to write like, you know, rap hooks with that artistic lens, let's say,
okay,
of gospel, of church music, whatever you want to call it. Like, but the content was not that, you know what I'm saying? But the melodies were, because some of the melodies are to me, very complex. Like he'll have 3 different melodies in one hook and changes, and it's like, dude, like you this guy's like on another planet. And it's like people go, he can't sing, and it's like, well, most of the singers that are on the radio can't sing at this point.
Yeah, but he makes that work. Like if that was sang well, it wouldn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like, is it done well? Like, I mean, it is.
It's meant to me to, whether it's meant to or not, it does for me. It evokes hopelessness of the ghetto.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it definitely evokes emotion.
It has this like
looking through a lens.
Like, why would I bother getting singing lessons? I'm gonna get shot tomorrow. That's how it sounds to me. You know what I'm saying? Like here's how I'm gonna sing it, because who knows if, you know. And I always liked that not perfect quality.
Yeah, there's a confidence to it too, where it's like, fuck it, you know.
Yeah. You know, so at the time, Jones is working on his next project and this group album, and Max is getting frustrated because he's been in jail for 10 years. He's trying to put a project out. Like, what up? I got 85 songs, you know, let's go.
85 fucking songs. Where do you think he probably had to be writing just nonstop in prison? That's what I would.
I think also when you get out, and think about it this way. Let's say you just got out from doing 10 years. When you went in, this guy Jim that you were friends with was still selling weed on the block.
Yeah.
Cam had just gotten out of a bad record deal, but that's it. And you come out, and now those 2 guys are 2 of the most famous rap superstars in the entire world. You think it would be hard to come up with music?
I know it wouldn't be hard to come up with the motivation to try. You know what I'm saying?
So I don't doubt that he was writing 20 songs a day going, I'm going to catch up to you motherfuckers. Watch.
The thing that's crazy is that you had this many people in such a small circle that, in essence, have all really made a mark already in hip-hop. You know what I mean? Like, that to me is nuts to me. Like, it's got to be situational. It's got to be.
That's all Cam. People don't realize that. It's like, that's all Cameron.
So what do you mean by the way he organized and got the opportunities for them to get in front of people? That was all Cam.
First of all, Cam was the first one out of any of them to have a deal. He had a deal through Biggie before Biggie died, who was about to get signed to Unravel under Biggie's, like, whatever he was going to do, whatever his venture was going to be outside of Bad Boy. Right?
Okay.
And then Biggie died, and the guy on Rivera, he's still honored because he knew that he was going to sign Cam. Like, he was like, Cam's that dude. So he signed Cam, you know, to Epic, I think, at the time. And, like, it was not the best deal, you know, but he had a couple songs that kind of kept, you know, got his name on the map. And, like, so without him having that foot in the door, and I think he had Jim on his first album, you know, he came up with the Dipset thing, and then So all these artists that there's names that you don't even know that have albums out that are under that umbrella. You know, it's
nuts.
like, and he's done that with more than one era. Like he did projects with this guy Vado. You know, and they're like, so it's like his influence is incredible. And
Yeah, it's like you wonder if you took him out of the equation, how many other people would you have known? You know what I mean? Would have any of them ever?
Even when one of the reasons I don't know this from hearing it directly, but I have my beliefs. One of the reasons Cam didn't sign probably Max is that he knows that the label stuff can be like a dirty game, and you have to kind of have a certain kind of like
Tolerance?
table manner, you know, to move in that way.
Like how to
And I
handle the
think-
no's in a
Yes.
business sense
Yeah.
instead of like
and if this guy
firing.
fucks you, you can't just go over and shoot his fucking crib up. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you have to just eat that. Like
yeah, that's the
and
quickest
I
way to
think
lose that.
Yeah, and so Jones does the deal instead with Max, signs him to Bird Gang Records or whatever, right?
Okay.
While Max is getting frustrated, while Max is writing all these songs, including at the time Jim Jones' biggest song ever, "We Fly High," that ball and shit. You know, he wrote that. I mean, you can hear Max singing that hook. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Oh, see, I didn't know that, but that makes a lot of sense.
such a Max B hook. It's not
Yeah.
even funny. Like
His hooks are
But,
like anthemish, you know what I mean? It's like you kind of like get sucked in.
yeah, but
Now, like I was reading that there was a lot of tension with him and Jones toward the
so-
end. Now,
well, so here's where it goes south.
okay,
In 2000, let's say 7 or maybe early 08, right around this time when all this is going on, Max gets pinched for this homicide.
oh, that robbery gone bad.
wrong. Yeah, robbery gone bad. And he's pointed out as the guy who set it all up. And, you know, I think bail was $2 million.
Yeah, it was expensive. Oh, that's
And
why it's
so
a $2 million baby, right?
So he calls up Jim Jones, you know, and he's like, I need that bail money, like, you know? And
Imagine
Jones
getting that
is
phone
like-
call, be like, "Fuck, bro."
Jones is like, you know, I got that for you, you know? And he's like, what? You know?
Wait, did they have
he's-
paper like that back then, though?
Yeah,
Yeah, like too liquid. Interesting.
yeah. Especially if you think you're talking collectively.
True.
Like, there's no reason Jim wouldn't talk to Cam.
Yeah, but they probably both looked at each other and said, "This is
but
gonna."
Max
It's
has
probably
got
like throwing
one
it
call.
out.
Who's he going to call? He's going to call the guy who he's got paperwork with.
Yeah.
And he's figuring it's as simple as, you know, it's not like you don't get the bail money back. Like, I'm not going to flee the country, like, whatever. So, you know, like, anyway, someone else puts up X amount of money. I forget. I don't know whatever.
Okay.
But someone else puts up X amount of money, and Jim agrees to put up the rest of the money, which I believe was $1 million at that point. But in return for that, he wants him to sign his publishing over.
Okay, because that was what I was going to ask you. If that happened at that point, or did that happen when his back
Yeah.
was against the wall in prison? But I mean, his back was
No,
already
that
kind of against the
happened
wall.
in
there.
order to get him out of jail.
Okay.
And, you know, that was the beginning of that.
But then he
getting
was only
very
out for like
sour.
6 months till he was sentenced, and then he went right back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because 6 months of the trial and then sentencing or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and like, so I think like Jim Jones had gone on the radio saying how like, yeah, you know, we just bailed Max out, whatever. And Max is kind of salty. Like there's a clip on, I think it's on this mixtape where he's like, they're like, is it true Jim Jones bailed you out? And he's like, it's true that he came to the jail to pick me up, but like he didn't put up all that bread, like, you know, and like, so the reason that I picked this mixtape is because, to me, there's definitely an argument to be made for other Max mixtapes as his best one.
Okay.
But there was the beginning of this urgency with this mixtape that you could feel. Things not being fully mixed, things being a minute and a half, and you know.
And this was all happening right at that period of time, like after
right
he got bonded out. You know what's
Yeah.
fucking crazy too? That this guy's got the confidence in a sense that takes that $2 million bail figure and then makes it a self-worth. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm worth $2 million now. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
And he's
I love
another
that.
one. People who listen to this show or know me or whatever. You can't tell me this guy does not define the thing I always say, that you can't. It's not a skill. A rapper can't. You can rap all the words fast, upside down, sideways, whatever the fuck. Do him a handstand rap, whatever you want to do. If you're a bird, you're a bird, and it's going to come through. And on the other side, a cool motherfucker, it's almost like Max was that cool that, like, it doesn't matter if he's a good singer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like he to me, there's just this cool factor that in everything this guy did that you were like, damn, man, this guy's just he's a cool dude. Like,
because his lyrics, if you had somebody rapping them that just didn't have that same everything he's got behind it, confidence-wise, the way he fucking holds himself up, like, it wouldn't. It's very interesting how the words by themselves are only a percentage of what they really are, in a sense. It's really also how that they're held up, right?
Yeah,
because I mean that in this case makes it breaks it.
People get mad that I always clown those rapidy rappers, and they're like, you like all that, what do you like, this stupid shit or blah blah blah, and it's like, no, like I like rap that I don't feel like I need a thesaurus to enjoy. Like, I don't want to be being lectured. Otherwise, I would go to a lecture. Like, I have different reasons for listening to music, I guess, than certain people. Certain people, I guess, that's where they get their intellectual fucking, stimuli, is by, hearing a guy rap fast. I don't know. For me, I like rap music because of the vibe, and I like to hear slick talk. Like, I'm a New Yorker. I like it when someone says something that I could say one of those lines in a conversation, and it would be the coolest answer to a question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Like, fuck, man, there's so many. All I got for hoes is hard dick and bubble gum, right? And it's like, you find a way to drop that in a conversation, and it's like you have that was the coolest answer. So that's what I've always liked that in rap, is when it's like someone just sounds like they just say cool shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be. I can appreciate more intellectual stuff and conscious-minded stuff, but at the same time,
like 15 tracks with that back to back would be rough.
Yeah, and there's a huge range, and there's something to be said for, like, just because something is not original topically or content-wise, does not mean it can't be refocused through a different lens and be cool in a different way, right?
Okay.
So it's like, to me, that's actually more challenging than doing something that nobody did. I'm gonna rap the alphabet backwards or whatever. Like,
well, it'd be like, I'm gonna rap more simple,
like,
and with more style, and it's gonna be the sickest shit ever. It's harder.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And there's a huge fucking difference between a guy who can elevate something that had been done before and someone who's just doing a copy of what's been done before. There's a huge fucking difference. And what I felt like when I was listening to Max, especially, like, this mixtape was the first that I went and bought this. I bought a physical copy of this mixtape at a like one of those bootleg spots in the hood.
Sick.
And I remember, like, this was the first thing that I had heard of his where I was like, this guy could be the biggest superstar in rap music if he doesn't wind up going to jail for 75 years.
Yeah. Now at this point,
this is right when Drake was about to come out. Like it could be argued
people were dying for this kind of
style.
style.
Had to tolerate Drake, and instead would have gotten Max B in that spot.
Like, how would the world be different?
That argument could be made.
Right? Like, how would the world be different if that happened?
Oh,
That'd be crazy.
I guarantee none of these wars, COVID wouldn't have happened. None of it.
It's all because Max B got locked up.
It's mainly because we had to have, we lost Max, and instead somehow Drake slid in there, and
so now that we got
nothing was the same.
So like now we got a good background on Max B, right? So, checkered past, fucking in and out of being locked up, still locked up as we speak. So, when you heard this mixtape, at that time, did this already reach your Prezzy top 10 fucking mixtape list? Or when did that happen? I'm just curious, like, what made you kind of move in the direction to say this is top of the list mixtape?
Well, because this was the first full Max B project that I had in my hands. Because of that, it immediately became the only thing I was listening to for about, I want to say 6 months. I mean, I don't think I listened to, if it wasn't this, it was like some variant of a Dipset song with a Max B hook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because I remember when you turned me on to this, I was definitely like, I couldn't turn it off for a fucking couple months. There's a couple of tracks that just get me.
It just was so original sounding to me. It was like, and then, having only heard him on hooks, it was like a revelation that the guy could actually rap. And like the fact that his lyrics were mad funny. Like,
and the content's like fresh, even though it's the same shit, it's said in a different way,
Yeah. I don't know if it's on this particular mixtape, but I'm gonna kind of look at some stuff. But one of my favorite lines on the song, he says, "Bitches say I got the best cock, and it's hard like textbooks."
Yeah, bro. There's.
Bro, I don't know why. Like, it's like certain things. It's like that's a mad funny thing to say. You know, like of all the things to compare it to a textbook is like to me is just hysterical. You know.
No, yeah, his wordplay is fucking, or like what he ends up focusing on is what's really interesting. You know what I mean? Like that sexy love song or whichever one that was.
God,
the hook on that is just ridiculous.
That is.
I wish there was
song.
more lyrics out there on Genius, because I can't catch all of them on some of them. The recordings, his vocals were a little low. Like I couldn't figure out every one of them, but everywhere where I caught it, it's just fucking ridiculous.
That's such a brilliant song. I remember when this mixtape was out, I was working in an Italian restaurant at the time, and like that, like Sexy Love and Why You Do That.
Yeah, that was the best.
Right? And the interlude for the ladies, right? It's mad funny because it was this girl that I used to hook up with at the restaurant. Not, like from the restaurant that I worked at. Okay. And like, she always a bitch that I would always have some gangster shit on, and like, why you always listen to fucking, why you always gotta listen to fucking whatever. And I think like for like a good 3 months, probably, it would just like when she would get in the car, it would be like, Why You Do That, interlude, Sexy Love, and like that we'd be at my apartment by then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it was like less. Yeah, and it was not as like hard, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like an Ill Bill album or some shit, you know what I'm saying? So like she liked Max B like peripherally, you know what I'm saying? Like
because it's almost something like kind of like R&B sexy to it in a sense, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like where chicks can dig it, but it's like
it was like he was the hood Drake, I'm telling you.
That's good. I think that makes sense.
No one's going to convince me I'm wrong about that. I always am going to feel like that was how it should have come out. Like that, you know, like if he didn't go away, that's how it would have played out. And I'm hoping he can come out, you know, now and at least, you know, get those flowers that he's due. Because I mean, there's no question he's got another album. He's got a classic in him, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so with that, just also to kind of touch on something I don't think we went into detail on. So he's got this 75-year sentence, right? But he's actually getting out in a year or two, right? Like he had worked out some
We
shit.
didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
One
So
of my favorite stories.
Yeah.
You know, like there's certain stuff where it's like it's awful that the, you know, the guy would be. Well, first of all, it's awful that someone got murdered, right? Okay, so, but then, you know, it's awful that this guy's career gets cut short, you know? Technically, on a conspiracy because he wasn't there, so it's not like he killed the guy, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so whether it's true or not, it still is a shame, right? And then, but only from those kind of tragic circumstances sometimes, like depending on, you know, the universe and how the choices people make and finances, I'm sure play a significant role in it.
They always do.
Yeah, there's things that happen that almost look like, God damn, if that's not fucking on brand, you know, and fucking just furthering the myth of Max B.
Yeah.
He eventually changed lawyers after the verdict and asked for a retrial, and on the premise that the woman that was referred to as his girlfriend in court, who testified that Max orchestrated this. Max, his lawyer argued on Max's behalf that in fact was not his girlfriend. That was actually a prostitute.
One of his girls. Yeah.
Yes, and she was on ecstasy at the time of her deposition.
Wow, really?
And yeah. And so they wind up getting, you know, this thing thrown out to, like, first it was like 75. I think they dropped it to like 30, if I'm not mistaken. And then it was like 12. But then, like, he had already done like 9 of them.
Yeah,
so,
you end up doing like 30. Well, on violent crimes, it's different. But like usually you do a portion, you know, of that sentence.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when they changed it to like a 20-year sentence, like he'd already done like 12, you know what I'm saying? Or some shit like that. If it was like they changed it to 12, he'd already done like 9. So, like, he's due out, you know? Like, shit, I mean, if it was, fingers crossed, by the time you see this fucking episode, Max is out, you know? And,
Bro, there's not one video I could watch of his that doesn't have the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 10th comment saying free Max B or some shit with wavy, but you know, it's like his fan, like, but you know, I found it interesting, like, you know, some of his stuff, you know, it's got hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of views, maybe even less in certain cases, but like the people that are obviously digging Max B are fucking like riding, you know what I mean? They're all in the car. They all ride hard for Max B.
I don't think that you can get Max B and not really like him musically.
Yeah, musically, because
like, I feel like it's an acquired taste. It's a different style, right? So I could see people not liking it.
Yeah,
but like if whether by having a friend who's always playing it, I feel like over time he'd win you over. Or,
definitely interesting character. They got that. There's this video out. What the fuck was the name of it? Let me see. He's got like a 20-minute video on YouTube.
Bro, just his hair alone.
With that long hair when it's all straight.
The perm. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what video I'm talking about, right? Where he's like, just like he comes out of his car. He's like, I got money. I still got money. He's pulling cash out. He's talking about everybody else. Yeah. Like that's when I got a real good vibe. I'm like, okay, yeah, he ain't any different than he sounds in that track, you know?
Yeah, and it's like this guy's just riding around Harlem, just just
Collecting money.
Yeah, like it's Charlie Rambo. You know what I mean? So,
So listen,
like-
let me ask you a couple questions about this album that I thought were interesting, right? So like one of the first things I noticed was, or not first things I noticed, but one of the first things that I still can't kind of get my head around. I don't get it. Why is Blow Me a Dub? They got those two different tracks. And then when I look at the music video that was released, because I've heard that track before, it's a different track. Like you got mad versions of that Blow Me a Dub track.
is to, from what I understand, is that the way that everything went with Jones, he basically, right before the release of this, was like, fuck Jim Jones, like this dude did me dirty with this fucking contract shit. Wouldn't let me put albums out. Now this guy, takes ownership of my pub fucking to bail me out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck this guy. And so I think because Blow Me a Dub was going to be the single from his project originally.
Oh, shit. So that was the flex that he's like, I could write that fucking 3 times if I wanted to. And it's
and I think Jones owned, like, the way that the lawyers interpreted it was that like, okay, he would own the publishing to this song, but he doesn't own the beat. So, like, you could fucking do a different song on the beat. And so he just did fucking...
Yeah, because it's
again,
wild,
you know
bro.
what
It's
I'm saying?
just as like I'm listening
That's
to
what
it,
I'm
and I'm
saying.
like, I thought
It's
the
better.
fucking words were different. And then I go listen to the
It's,
video
like,
I saw
literally
when he's
better.
like in the staircase drinking and shit. And I was like, he wrote that same song with that same energy and completely different words. And I didn't like it was either really brilliant or it was something I was missing. But that's fucking that's
he's
wild.
That's what I'm saying. Stuff like that when
Yeah.
you're like, man, this guy he's fucking special, dude. Like,
Yeah, but that song, like you hear
Like-
some of these hooks in the tracks, and you're like, wow, that was like, everything aligned in that one. That one's fit, you couldn't do that again, and he like did it again, right?
Yeah.
That was the whole flex. Yeah,
and
that's sick.
A lot of these, are other people's beats. Like,
Yeah,
like a Max B mixtape, like this one here. It's hosted by DJ Lazy K. She's a female DJ. And so you have stuff that he was going to put on his projects. You have stuff that he was a feature on another artist's song. And then you have, just him rapping on other people's beats, right?
okay.
And like 50 Cent in maybe 4 years earlier or whatever had kind of, mastered the mixtape idea of redoing the songs like that. But like Max, it felt like he took it even further. Like it felt like when you listen to like, for example, Where All My Hoes, and
Okay.
that's Kanye's Flashing Lights.
Yeah,
And it's like, this is a whole different.
yeah. It's not even like
Everything
I
about
almost
this
couldn't even
is so-
recognize
it's
them.
so different. Yeah, and like it makes you even hear the beat differently. Like like literally, like to me, it's like the energy that where he sits in the beat. It makes certain parts of this beat stand out more.
Yeah, but bro, there
And it
was
makes,
times where I'm listening to this in the very beginning, and I'm like, man, who the fuck made all this guy's beats? Because it like fit him perfect. And then I'm listening, I'm like, wait a minute, I recognize that beat. I recognize that beat. And then I was starting to realize, I'm like, oh shit, it was just like very well put together from that perspective, Now,
Absolutely.
that was, you think, his doing or the DJ's? Mix of both? Because he seems to be like a little bit of a kind of, sound genius in the background where he kind of just knows what fits good, or at least from what I'm piecing together,
I think when the DJ is involved on with their name on it like this, her name's in the title, I feel like at least a significant amount of that was their work.
Okay. Or they wouldn't have got the credit, right?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
But I'm sure Max also had as much input as he wanted to have, because the DJ's gonna want the best tape possible, right? So like,
Yeah, of course.
if you have access to the artist, then they're saying like, yeah, why don't we, do this, and I could always do this verse, like, or something like that, I mean, that's obviously they're down for that. Fuck,
So like on this album, right? I had definitely a couple of favorites, like "Where Are All My O's," that one for sure. "Why You Do That," that's just like, I don't know how that's not. I mean, it is a classic in a sense. Like,
Why You
I
Do
don't
That
know,
is
man.
such a great song.
It just seems like it always
Such a great
existed,
song.
always was, always had, type of thing. "Blow Me a Dub." I love that energy in that song, and it just blows my fucking mind that, like, he was able to rewrite that in 2 different versions, or I don't know if it was 3 even, but like that carries the same fucking energy. And I thought that was fucking off the hook. "Don't Take It Personal" is another fucking ridiculous one, because it's just like those little like perspectives of, you have a whole situation, right? Something happened, and then he looked at the one part as like, but just don't take it personal, and it's like that. It makes it interesting, because there's a whole bunch of different shit you could look at when something happens, and he takes that one little spot. That's what I think
I like
is a
that.
pull.
Don't Take It Personal has some of my favorite just straight rapping of his, because he says that's the one where he's like, I might fuck this up, but it's like, he's like 6 foot chain, blue coupe and a frosty, 6 foot dame, blue suit and some coffee, and it's like so visual, and like the cadence, like it's like, man, this dude really fucking, he could do it all. Like, he really could do it all. Like, it was certain stuff that, like, you to get like, it's very easy to just rhyme words at the end of a sentence, right?
Of course.
But when you listen to a verse of Max's, you can tell that it's almost like he harmonized the whole verse before he put any words in there.
Okay.
And then the genius of it is that he somehow found words that would fit that melody,
Like into
all
the
way
flow,
through the verse.
like, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what he's always priding himself on, is being wavy, and like I think that's probably like the best way to define it, is like how he's
It's
walking
so
through those
crazy
hooks,
to me. But the verses I'm talking about,
or even the verses, he
because,
does it kind of too in that,
the hooks. It's the hook. Yeah, it needs to be harmony. That's where it's going to be. But a lot of even good rappers, well-known rappers, they don't have that level of melody in the verse itself. It's more about what they're saying,
Oh, and you want to hear
like,
something cool? So I saw I read an interview with Guru that was talking just specifically actually about this, right? Here, let me actually read this.
Guru is known for having that legendary voice. Like, he's, Gangstar was, it's one of the most, like, legendary groups,
Yeah, I was a big
Gangstar,
fan of
Premier,
Gangstar. I
Guru,
liked it.
And Guru's voice is what carried. I mean, I didn't think he was ever that great of a lyricist, to be honest. Like,
No, but he
compared
sounded
to
different
at the
enough,
time, he
right?
had Nas out, you shit. It was like, Guru wasn't fucking with Nas, but he had that voice that, like, you could really enjoy the fuck out of a Gangstar album, because he said he sounded cool.
Yeah. It's crazy how many different elements come into play, too. It's like the timing, like when is it happening, what's around it, how the fucking person's delivering it, even the tone and cadence of their voice. It's wild how many things add to everything. And then one of the things he said, he was like, Max B's vocals are often drowned in distortion and are doubled until they sound like he's singing through a breathing machine. Together with the producer Dame Grease, he built a style that imagines lullabies filtered through hell, or at least through a cell block. And like, boy, that definitely sums it up. And as I was listening, right, like as an engineer, I didn't catch it at first. I thought he was like kind of like rapping off key, but it sounds like he's got one normal verse and then there's another doubled layer where it's like pitched down 1 or 2, like tones or whatever. and it creates this like rough edge in a sense, but kind of makes it all work at the same time. Like I've never listened to an album sonically that, to me, again, sonically from an engineer perspective, there's a lot of things that you could tell were either rushed or they just didn't have the time to do it or they didn't have the right people working on it. But yet it all works really, really good. So I don't even know if that is the case or if that was the sound they were trying to cultivate out of it. Because even though there was certain aspects that weren't traditional with like the engineering side, you know, usually that only leads to you like getting lost in like paying attention to those things when you're listening to the album instead of the music. But with this, that didn't happen once. You know, it's like I never got pulled away from the content because of that. It actually added to it, which is interesting because you don't see that a lot in that scenario, you know? So it like adds a lot to it in a sense, considering like how he was coming out with music, his scenario. I don't know. I feel like it just all adds to the allure, you know, that unperfectness in a sense, right? Because you had mentioned even that.
Yeah, I definitely think that's part of it on some level. I think that anytime you can find something that is not too perfect, you know, it like the era that we're in right now with everything being digital, it's so precise. Everything is so precise. And that's great for so many different aspects of the process. But there's something for, you know, there's something to be said for just the nuance that a certain trumpet player fucking hits a note on a certain day, you know, in a specific room that had a certain kind of acoustic, and that you can't replicate that.
Yeah. You know, like alchemists would say, like,
so,
it's either overcooked, you know, you can overcook things by kind of like coming at it too much, trying to make it perfect. You end up kind of taking the soul out of it, you know?
Yeah. And I happen to be of the belief that it was definitely not accidental. Like, I'm not talking about the quality of the actual mixes on some of these.
How they were engineering him to sound?
But I'm talking about the sound, yeah, because the first things you heard him on were the Jim Jones, and those were major label releases. So, you know, it wouldn't have been like, fuck it, it's whatever. If you know, there's a $5 million.
So did they carry that sound with him on those projects too, or did he like develop that once he broke away?
No, he had that sound from the jump.
Oh,
That's
from day
what I'm
one.
saying. Like,
okay,
yeah, and what's really crazy is that just as I had been like won over to become a Jim Jones fan because of Max B, essentially, once this beef happened and Jim Jones' next project came out, it was like I fucking knew Jim Jones sucked. Like, it was gone. Like, the thing that there was just
the thing
something
you liked about
those
Jones
first
was
two
fucking
projects.
gone.
The first two projects that made these albums really good, and it's like it's gone now, and it's like I knew it was Max, you know. And so when you look on the track list, and it's like I'ma Do Me, Jim Jones, this is like he was, this is right after that, right? So it's like he's like, fuck this fucking guy, and he talks about how he wrote a lot of stuff, you know, like he's venting a lot too, which for me, again, like a major label, no record label is gonna put out you saying these kind of things as part of an album.
Yeah.
Right? You're only gonna get this on a mixtape. And so
That's for sure.
For me, like, that's why this particular mixtape, even though I could give you 4 other Max tapes that are equal or better overall, there's just something about the time when this came out and the shit that was going on around this guy, and he's going to jail, or is he not going to jail? And you know, he starts talking about how he fucked Jim Jones's girl and shit. I mean, it's like, it was just so out of control and escalating. And it was like, when I got myself in some trouble and I was away from home for a couple months.
You went off to camp?
Yeah. This was like something that, like, I bonded with a lot of people because I happened to just have been a huge Max B fan. And it would like, people would be like, you know about Max, you know? And it was like, yeah, like I've been like following this whole shit, like, and so you could talk about the story about Max B without having to listen to the music.
Yeah.
Like, and that was something that set him apart at the time, is that there was so much actual
drama around,
real drama, not made up drama on Instagram. Like, you know, and it was like, it had this, like, there was a sense of danger around it, you know? And that, again, depending who you ask, that's, to me, is you know, part of what I remember growing up.
All right. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense,
because a sense of danger around the music.
I know. I'm always looking for that too. You know, it's like something, I don't know what it is. It's like connecting. For me, it's like these memories I had of stupid shit I was doing when I was young too, and then like I hear a song that like, oh, that was that night. Like, it captures part of it. You know what I mean?
Well, because that's the shit we were on at the time.
Yeah.
And so the music matched it. You know?
That's for sure.
And so it's like I'm not saying I want, like, you know, everything evolves. I'm not doing the same things I was doing 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, but it's cool when there's something that reminds you of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and
it's
that
like
energy.
You could tell, like, this dude there's something in here that's a familiar ingredient. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'll take a plate of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I felt when I would listen to Max. Was like, you know, this is definitely something new, but I could still see robbing somebody, you know, to this.
Well, bro, and it's like there's a certain energy that is required to do anything or be around that kind of shit. Even if it's 20 years ago, you still have that energy. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's certain people that, like, you know, get scared to do certain shit or whatever, not, you know, so that doesn't go away, in my opinion. You know, it just kind of evolves into different confidence as you're older and shit.
Well, I mean, that's what you hope, but at the end of the day, this dude was on the cusp of superstardom and fucking...
Yeah, true.
You know?
Yeah, it gets the best of you if you get too wrapped up in it. Like, I'm really curious to see what he ends up doing, you know? Because a lot of time's passed, and there's definitely a lot of people waiting for it. You know, hopefully we see some ill projects like you're talking about.
You know, when I listen to this project, there's something that I don't know. I get there's no way for me to know the answer to some stuff, right? Like,
of course,
you know, no one's asked the questions. Hey, you know what? Maybe someone will fucking hear this and go, yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, or one of your predictions could become truth, like they often do.
It typically winds up, probably by the time this airs, someone will have answered and been like, oh, everyone knows that answer, bro. They were just talking about it. Fucking idiot.
I know, shit always happens.
But, like, when you listen to Sexy Love, for example.
Okay.
Unless I'm completely hallucinating, a good chunk of the hook is written from the woman's point of view.
Yeah, I was actually wondering, because I feel like the woman's point of view and his point of view jumps back and forth. Like, there's one line in the verse where he's talking about, give me another rock, and I'm like, I don't think he's smoking crack.
No, and then also, I would have never gave you my pussy.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so that's exactly what was happening.
Right? He says, I would have never gave you my pussy. And it's like, well, what?
Yeah, he's speaking on
So,
behalf
like,
of her then.
Right. But so then my thought process was this an unfinished like demo that was supposed to be featuring a female singer?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I looked further into it, and I didn't know this because I, believe it or not, did not buy all of the Destiny's Child albums. The beat is actually a Destiny's Child instrumental.
Interesting.
So, you know, he was on a this guy had the I'll put it to like this. You and I are working on a project, a mixtape. And one of the things I've kind of been priding myself on in the creation was that some of these beats people are going to obviously go, of course I know that. But like a few of them, I feel like no one even would know where to get this. Like no one would even think to put this. And I thought Sexy Love was an original, you know, whatever. Not so much. It was always someone else's. Now, could it still mean that it was in the early demo phase where ideally they would put it on an original beat, you know, kind of reverse engineer the instrumental kind of deal, get the girl singing the hook with them, whatever. But, you know, in light of the fact that he looks like he's going away for 75 years, maybe we just put this out now and fucking, you know, see, because I mean, you know, we need bail money and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So with, you know, you calling or you having feelings towards this album of being top mixtapes, some of the top mixtapes that it's out there, that necessarily isn't because of like structurally everything was perfect on this, but more so the energy this brought, the timing this came out, the hitters that were on this, all of that is really what adds to that allure of this being a top classic in a sense.
Yes, that definitely. It has one of the highest like ratio of just absolute fucking bangers. Like, I mean, you know, on the downside of someone putting so much material out in such a short period of time, there's going to be stuff that you don't like as much, right? Mm-hmm. This particular project has a lot of my favorite Max songs on it. Like the Grand Crew, Suck This Pistol, Freestyle is one of them, and that's another one where he's just rapping. He's just fucking rapping on that, and it's like, man, like he really fucking, he can go. Like it's. I always enjoyed the times where he would spit a verse that like someone goes, he can't rap. He could do good hooks, but he can't rap. I always liked when Max would give you a verse that you could be like, play that for somebody. Tell me he's not rapping his fucking ass off on me, you know, like, and it sounds, to pun intended, it sounds wavier, you know. It's like he's keeping up bar for bar with whoever you put up in certain verses, and then it's like on top of that you could, you know, sail a boat on it.
Yeah.
You know
like, bro,
I mean?
I was trying, just for the sake of this, to try to find some like negative, you know, talk, people shitting on it. First off, almost impossible to find anything. But then when I did, only comments I was seeing was that all talking on the parts that we're talking about, that certain aspects of it might have felt rushed, or the diss on the second track when he's going after Jim Jones was kind of basic. Like, here, let me see. There was some like terms like, where was it? Let me see.
He's definitely divisive.
Yeah, like, I won't help
question.
you, so don't ask. Where's my paper? Like, somebody was quoting that and saying, like, bro, that's pretty basic. But, like, when I heard it, didn't come off that way. It just came off as a way of somebody just being, like, a dick in a sense and being, like, not helping, fuck you, I'm out, and he's, type of shit.
And he's working on the beat. Like, you know, I mean, look, there's certain this is where I say like not everything is for everyone, right? Because like if your criteria is that every line has to have some mind-bending fucking plot twist punchline in order for it to be a good song, then you're not going to like Max B.
You're probably not going to really get to enjoy music either.
That's kind of where I was going with this, is that you're going to be able to enjoy, I don't know, 30 rappers maybe.
It's like, go listen to a TED Talk. Right?
Like that's what. You're saying that half joking, but that's what that's kind of how I feel. Like, I like it when there is a skill level that is very high, and you don't have to be talking about anthropology to do that. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's different ways to display mastery of something. And yes, content and saying stuff that is, intellectually stimulating, or however you want to phrase it, there's of course value in that. But again, like if I wanted to hear an hour of that, I would listen to a TED Talk. It is what it is.
But
like,
you know what's weird? Like the fact that
like
rock,
I like a good movie would have a message in it, right? But the whole movie isn't them just yelling at you about the message.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They don't just be like, message. It's like you have to watch the story, and then there's parts that maybe are violent, and parts that are romantic, and parts that are and together it comes and gives you the story, right?
Because like think about rock
it's like,
too,
that's
right?
how I like music to be.
Like with rock, you have, like it's not always the best singer by any means, right? So like it's not the ability to sing. So then what's left, right? It's like how you did it, right? And that's like when somebody's singing on a any other genre, people aren't analyzing a hook and being like, yo, that wasn't clever enough or anything. It's like whether it hit or it didn't hit, Like sometimes they just click, everything fucking feels right, And
it's why a guy like Nas is so incredible to have had the career he's had and be putting out 4 albums in the last 3 years. And this is a guy who, has his own style, influenced a lot of other styles, and like is still inspired enough to keep his shit sounding fresh, where, it's, and Nas is not just saying nothing, like he's also putting gems in his shit.
Yeah.
So, like, even as much as I love Max, and I put Max B in my personal top 10, easy, when I make the comment that Nas is the greatest of all time, I don't think it's even fucking debatable, to be honest. It's a little tough for me to, especially after this late career run that he's had. It's like,
this last album was ridiculous.
Man, what the fuck are we talking about here? Like, it's not even close. I mean, Jay-Z, I guess, is the closest to an argument that you can really put up. But
he hasn't been in the ring as much lately.
That's what I'm saying. This last 4 albums and 3-year run that Nas has put out, and it being among his best work, is like, I don't know that Jay-Z can do that. Yeah. That right now.
I don't even know if he'd want to do that. He seems to kind of have checked out into a different direction of the elite,
which is cool too. Yeah. But then
that's what it is.
Then you're leaving that door open for Nas to take that title as the greatest of all time. Because he's still out there throwing fucking haymakers.
Yeah, man, and his image the entire time was represented the right way. Like he did it right.
The guy's to me it's like what he means to the culture of hip hop, but not just the rapping. Like as far as like not being a like a train wreck. Or
Yeah, like he
dead.
kept it real while being on a major label, which like almost all of them don't do.
And he kept like a certain amount of artistic integrity, you know, just like sacrificing in a sense, knowing like you could definitely just make this little left turn right here.
Yeah, like he would just kind of walk the line of
And
it
he
being...
was like, nah, I'm gonna, you know, I know the label wants, you need these 2 songs, right? Okay, they're on there, but that's, the rest is fucking, you're getting what you're getting.
Yeah.
You don't have another Nas, do you? You know, and kind of he always knew how to, and then, you know, to know that he got into like investments and stuff in the last 10 years and like became a billion. I'm pretty sure he's a billionaire.
He's got a lot of money.
I mean, like if not, he's fucking, you know, hovering right around there. I mean, and it's just to see that where the norm had been established as like a rap artist career is 3 to 4 years long, 1 to 2 albums long, and you know, financially can't really say that it's gonna look anything like fucking what that video you dropped looked like, you know. I mean, it's gonna be a rough fucking deal. So to see Nas, like a guy from 91, you know, to see where he is now, it's like that's like, you know, it puts it that like that's the standard for greatness, right?
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that one, man. So with our fucking man Max B, right? Kind of just to, I want to touch on a couple other things. I'm curious your perspective, your input on this. Like, okay, so Max B comes out of jail 2 years from now, right? Or whenever the fuck it is. Okay? You already said you'd like to hear him do something with like Marcy and Alchemist. I think that's obviously, I think anything that would be done with those 2 guys would be sick if it's the right person. Who else can you hear like Max B getting on a feature or being a feature, having a feature, being on a feature? Like, I'm kind of curious.
Well, I think Dame Grease should produce because Dame Grease did a lot of the stuff he was doing. So I want them back together. And same with Young Los was the other producer. So I would want them involved too. That would be the production side. I wouldn't want anyone else, to be honest, production side.
Because they know him the best. They know his sound. 2
of the originals, and then the 2 new would be Marcy and Al.
Gotcha.
Right? That would be my thought on that. And then features like I would want to hear Cam, definitely.
Okay. I feel like I could hear him doing something from somebody from Wu-Tang, like Killa.
Yeah.
Or Ghostface.
Ghostface and Max would sound really good.
Right.
Because Ghost got a nice sharp voice. Max is more like smoothed out and like Ghost is more sharp. So that would be a good contrast, good call right there.
Yeah.
I would want to hear...
I'd like to hear him rapping on some of my beats, you know? No.
Yeah, of course. I would love to hear with like Ill Bill and like Billy Dan's or Lil Fame from MOP because of the contrast.
Yo, how about fucking like Nems? I feel like that energy would be
Nems and Max would be a home run to me.
Right? That would be a fucking cool one.
Yeah. And then I would like to hear Max with Kendrick Lamar a lot. I would very much enjoy that.
Okay.
I would like to hear Max with Freddie Gibbs.
Okay, yep, that one fits real good.
Very much. And I would like to hear Max with Styles P again. They've worked together before. I love the contrast. I think, I'm trying to think who else. Pusha T is another one that would sound really good.
Yeah. Yeah, but his shit opens up so many doors because of the hooks. You know what I mean? Because like in certain scenarios, like, you know, just feature verses or whatever, that's one sound. But then you throw in his hook style, all of a sudden that opens it up to like a fucking ton of shit. you know, where it would be like
Yeah.
fucking nuts if you put that into it, you know? Because nobody's doing hooks like that, right? Like the way he approaches hooks are just on its own level. Like I really like that. Like it's catchy, it's fucking just unexpected almost in a sense, and I don't feel like I've heard anybody coming at it like that just about ever. Right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, especially after like, I mean, I've digested probably, I don't know how many, well over 100 songs. Like, I've pretty much gone through this guy's catalog, a couple times, and that's definitely the one thing that's like just is so incredible to me is like how much he did and how short of a time period is like head spinning. Like it's like, I mean, you hear stories about Tupac that he had this like a similar, he'd knock out like 6 songs, in a day, whatever kind of deal and stuff. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It just, when I look at like, if you go on like Spotify and this guy's got fucking 27 albums, and you're like, how do you have that? And you were not in jail.
That's
for
what I was saying.
Like
he was out for like 3 years, bro.
Yeah, it's
you know what
like,
I'm saying? That brings me up another
crazy.
point too. So like, if some people are watching this hadn't heard of Max B and they start looking for it after this, you're gonna find a lot of shit, right? And then you're also gonna find all of these songs on a bunch of other volume releases, right? Which I don't even like. What can you tell me a little bit more about that? Because I see they were collections of I guess some of his favorites or whatever. But how did what's the background?
I don't know I don't know. Like, so whatever. I guess after. I don't know what the behind the scenes was negotiation wise.
Okay.
But I know that like to raise money for his legal situation, everything was sold to a company called, if I'm not mistaken, Amalgam Digital.
Even his mixtape shit.
Anything that he had laid vocals on, he signed over.
Wow. So when he comes out, he got rights to nothing.
I mean, I don't know I don't know what the contract is.
True.
It could be, I don't know. Maybe it's for a certain term or whatever the case.
Or you can buy him back or something.
Yeah. Or, fuck it. If it got you from 75 to 12. And
bro, if he's
you're here to
writing
make a
tracks
new
like
album,
this.
I don't think, who gives a shit, you know? Like, if you were able to do all what you did already, I mean,
bro, what he did with Blow Me a Dub, you could
honest.
already tell his energy is just going to be like, fuck it, I'll just do it again.
Yeah, like, so I kind of think what happened is they correctly assume that if you want to get a return on this investment, right, like you put everything out right now. Because you don't know how long people are going to give a shit. Like,
yeah, that's for sure. And it's only going to get less while you can't be in the face.
A record company is looking at it as a business transaction. They're not a fan per se. They might, the head of the label might be a fan, but it's not a prerequisite that he's a fan.
Even if he's a fan, he's a risk.
Money.
On paper, he's a huge risk.
But it's about, can we make money off of this?
Now,
and it's like, this guy is in jail, so he kind of can't fuck anything up.
Yeah, can't.
If we can make some money back and we'll put up, the $5 million for the fucking lawyers or whatever the case was. I don't know. If that's, we can get it back. If we streaming, we put everything out and then we'll do limited edition, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what their intentions were as far as how to get that return, but it apparently included, because I remember one day just in my, bi-monthly circling back to some Max B stuff, like I'd typically every couple of months be like, let's throw some Max on, right? And then I remember going, at the time, Spotify used to have, like, he had 3, maybe 4 mixtapes that were on there. And then all of a sudden I see like Library of a Legend Volume 1, and then it was like Volume 2, 3, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then like expanded like C discography, and
It was like hundreds of songs.
28 albums dropped in one day.
It's fucking nuts.
In one day. And I was like, what the fuck? And so, yeah, I mean, if you go on like Spotify, but those are not albums. It's just like it's
like best ofs, right?
It actually almost comes off as if it was they're put in the order they were recorded in, actually, like in life. Yeah, I think that's actually because I think as far as they just didn't like, you know, if you organize like things like by, I really think it was as simple as like they just organized by. Yeah, because there's a lot of it that's like the early stuff is like a lot of Dipset stuff, and then by the time you get to the end, it's like him and French Montana mostly, which is who he was working with a lot.
Wow, and that was like right 2008, 2009, right before he got locked up. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a ton. I mean, there's probably more Max B content out there than most.
I would recommend
artists, right?
People check out Domain Diego, Public Domain.
Okay.
3, and
how all the other $1 Million Babies?
They're all good. I mean,
you got 1, 2, 2.5, right?
2, and there's a 3 also, yeah,
and a 3.
But definitely check. Public Domain 6 is good too. That's another good one.
Man, he's spinning more rhymes than a Lazy Susan, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy how much stuff this dude put. You know, like there was one song, one of the Jim Jones ones that he kept, and the song's called Prolific. You could look that song up too if you're so inclined.
All right.
But he says in the hook is like, who you know to go so prolific, you know, and it's like, first of all, like I like the fact that the way he says that is like it's not how normally someone would phrase that. You know,
I know
what I'm
that's the
saying?
shit
But
I like, though. You know what I mean?
I love that. That's
Yeah.
like my favorite, when someone just decides like, I'm just gonna say it this way instead.
Yeah,
Like,
because it
I
sounds
like to do
cooler.
that myself. It makes me very happy when I do it. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like I love when someone else does that.
Yeah.
But it also is very true. Like this guy really was like prolific, man. Like holy Christmas, the amount of shit this guy fucking managed to, you know, create in such a short space.
Yeah, and he was definitely living the lifestyle, that's for sure. He had no shortage of content.
One of my favorite Max B lines, I don't know if it's on this mixtape, but he says, and every other day I used to average a robbery, but that was Max. Don't confuse it with Charlie. Don't confuse me with a dude who abuses authority, whatever, right?
Okay.
And the reason I love that line is that usually like rappers will like brag about like being like, yeah, I'll shoot this guy. I sold drugs. I do this, I do that, right? With no concern about what they're saying because they didn't do that, right?
Yeah.
Like that's, he says, every other day I used to average a robbery, but that was Max. Don't confuse it with Charlie. Because he's legitimately concerned that
they're going to come after him. Yeah.
That they might be like, yo, but you said you average a robbery. He's like, no. But I also said that was Max, the entertainer. Not Charlie. This is Charlie Wingate. I would never do that.
Yeah, that's fucking pretty funny.
And I was
You
like,
don't see that a lot.
It made me think, like, I'm like, this guy is the man, that he actually made a point of being like, but that's Max, the rapping guy, you know, not Charlie Wingate. Definitely I didn't do that.
I know that is, but that's, you know, it's like that's, you know, that charisma or whatever you want to call it, like just the way he approaches these situations is what
I was telling you about the whole
so
fucking, you know, it's like It's just like an inherent cool factor. You know what I'm saying? Like some people
Yeah.
are.
That's
cool.
probably the
Like,
best
some
way to
people
say
are
it
not
until we
cool.
figure out
You
something.
could, you ever meet one? Of course you have. We all have. You meet someone that's like
It's got an energy about him.
no, but they would have all the outward appearances of a quote unquote cool person, but you can instantly tell this person is a bird.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's like
Right?
80% of people out there.
But you know what I'm talking like I'm talking about like yeah, most people are birds, yeah, but I'm talking
Yeah.
about like when someone presents themselves as bigger than a bird, larger
As
than
an eagle, but they come back
of a
as
certain
a fucking
type of
parakeet.
yeah, like a certain type of, like it's like a house cat wearing lion he is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Kind of deal.
exactly, yeah.
And it's like you can always kind of tell, like without, even though it's like everything here would tell you it's cool, right? It's like you could just tell it's not. It's like the same is in the opposite. It's like Max was on a couple of Jim Jones hooks, and like I'll tell you right now, there is not a bigger appetite for a Jim Jones album than there is for a Max B album after 10 years and Max being in jail. Still isn't,
That's pretty crazy.
And Jones
huh?
done well for himself. Don't get me wrong. Like he's actually gotten better. Like he's not the worst. I don't think he's like, I don't have like a issue.
Yeah, but
with
I mean, his face
music.
still shows up. He's still working,
It's passable. He makes decent music. It's good.
Yeah.
It's not. It's certainly not Cam, but it's not.
You think these
like,
guys are going to still have beef with him when like he comes out, or do you think they're going to be supportive?
Well, again, another reason why I love Cam is that remember how I said originally Cam passed on signing him,
Okay.
right? So they stayed cool, even though Jim Jones and Cam were like, they were Dipset and all this, and like Cam wouldn't say anything bad about Max, and then Cam put out Purple Haze 2 and there's 2 Max B features on it from jail and shit. So
That's so crazy they do that.
so
Pimp.
like Cam is good with Max, but you could look on YouTube, like Jim Jones is an emotional dude, and like there's been times where people ask him like, so what's good with you and Max B, and he'll be like, yo, I don't want to talk about that, next question, like he'll get like real like fucking. So it definitely makes, again, to me, it makes it like more believable when Max says that he fucked Jim Jones's girl. It, like the way Jones acts, it makes it like.
Yeah, he probably did.
It makes it like, yo, I think probably he did, to be honest. Just the way that Jim seems so personally like,
Butthurt.
yeah, like, bro, if he just made a couple diss songs about you, like you've had a successful career, like he's been in jail, like how are you like?
I know,
really
like, why would
that,
you not be like, oh yeah, man, we all right, man. I hope this guy gets out soon.
Yeah, like I mean,
Like,
come
he's still
on,
like-
dude. Unless he definitely did fuck your girlfriend, like in which case, like maybe you'd still be fucking, jonesing about it.
Jim Jones in about it.
But yeah, man. I mean, the story of Max is still unfinished. He's going to be home soon, and I certainly hope that the right conditions are created for him to put out like a album that kind of puts him at least on a wider radar as like being like a special talent, like.
Now, what do you think? And again, obviously, none of us have the answer to this because it's going to be a future question. But like, when he comes out, you think he's going to go major label? You think he's going to try going independent, doing something?
I can't see a major label putting $1 behind him, and the combination of his past and the current lack of money being made by labels. Like it's not the 90s where they could fucking spend $5 million on an album and not even release it, which believe it or not happened a lot.
Yeah, I've heard
that shit is done. So it's like my guess, probably like a label through an artist. Like I could see him signing
Camp?
with Rick Ross. You know, I could see
What
him
do you think
signing
about
with,
Camp?
I don't know, just because of I don't know how important Jim Jones's feelings are to Cam, basically.
Good question.
You know?
Good question.
That's all that really, that's what, I mean, that to me is all that would come down to. But I could see Rick Ross being a good fit as a person for him to go to, you know?
Yeah, I think that could fucking make some sense. Well, I'm curious to see what happens, you know? So I hope Max B fucking, you know, does his fucking parole well. He makes friends with his probation or parole officer and fucking, you know, they let him make some music, you know? Because
Yeah, man.
he seems like the kind of guy that's going to very easily does the wrong thing too fast. So hopefully he learned that lesson in the last 20-something plus years.
You got to figure at a certain point. Yeah,
Some of them don't,
gotta
though. You know what I
figure.
mean? It's a gamble, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the fun part, right? I mean, it's like you don't want something bad to happen, but
It's like watching a car accident.
in some sense you almost kind of like expect it.
Yeah.
You know, like it wouldn't be surprising. Like, you know,
Definitely wouldn't be surprising with his track record, that's for sure.
so
But
to me, I mean, I just rather
is
see
40
him
now.
not. I'd rather see him not fuck it up, like, because it's like I feel like it's expected that you would.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and you know,
it
the
would be
good thing is
cooler
he's
to
our
me
age, right?
If he just kind of like didn't do that and was like, just had a run and put out like, you know, 10 instead of 28 half finished bootlegs. You know, give me fucking 5 classic albums.
Yeah, bro, he'd be
I'll go
fucking
for
set for
that.
the rest of his life. Like the culture's fertile waiting for him, you know?
If he put out one album right now that got hot, he could tour for 5 years off of the mixtape
That all the
material.
other shit.
The mixtape material with 2 songs being big on the new album. That's all he would need.
I mean, I'd venture to bet he could even tour with what he's already got out. He's got enough of a following.
I don't know how much of I don't know, you know, what the situation is like.
Or if he could, you mean? Yeah.
He might need new material. There's weird contracts. I don't know, like
sometimes
you
you
know
can't
how
perform certain shit.
You can re-record stuff and it counts as new. So like, because Taylor Swift and all them did that shit recently. So I don't know. The laws have changed significantly. You know, I don't know what he could do. Like, I don't know. I don't know what his options are there, but I'm saying I know at the very least you could always rap the acapellas over fucking random beats at your shows that were popular now, right? Like you could do just the updated, you know, whatever.
You can have a live band play fucking similar.
There's a million
ones,
ways you could go around it, and all I'm saying is if he had a project out that had 1 or 2 songs that kind of, you know, were hot enough that it like kind of got everyone like, oh yeah, Max B, you know, like, you know, like he's got a catalog that's substantial.
Yeah, no, that's for sure, man. And I got to tell you, like out of just everything that's out there, hip hop wise, like Max B is definitely in my top 10, top 5 list, probably, as far as just everything that I like about hip hop, he bodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that fucking swag, all of that shit. And again, I bet you there's going to be a ton of people that maybe have heard of him or really didn't get into him too much. So hopefully, you know, you get to discover Max B today because that shit's sick. And then hopefully we see Max B do some more shit in the future too, you know? So that's going to be an interesting play. We'll see how the next fucking 2 years go.
I think he's got
Max B shit.
I think he's got all the reasons in the world to make the most of, you know, Act 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I mean, like, again, like, you know, I've never seen another artist that had an opportunity like this where it's like he doesn't have like the whole world waiting for him, but he's got a big block of motherfuckers that are waiting for him, you know?
Yeah.
He just plays it right, like 30% he'll fucking do good, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think the odds are as steep as some people think that he can kind of pop right back onto the, because I'm telling you, he was like the next guy. Like anyone who was paying attention at the time, it was like he was next up, man. Like he was 1 or 2 records away from being the guy that everyone knew.
Well, he still might be, you know. We'll see how.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't
easily
think
if he gets pulled into any of these like indie scene areas, like with Griselda or with Alchemist.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
anybody
that's another
making a
one
noise.
too. Like you let West Side Gun executive produce his project, and it's probably gonna work. You know, like,
Yeah.
That's the thing with a guy like Max. Like he's versatile. He can rhyme. It's not like
I wonder if he's hard to work with. I bet a little bit.
I think you got to just let him, you know, do what he does.
Yeah, let him
You
be
know.
the talent.
I bet
Right.
that I would guarantee he shows up whenever he gets there. Like I bet whatever time you think you booked is probably not when the session starts.
Yeah, he's a diva. I'm sure.
Just because of the perm, that's why I say that. I can't help
Yes,
it.
it takes 3 hours for him to get out of the house.
Anytime I see a dude with a perm, I'm like, this guy's late to shit, man. Because you know how much you got to like care
Yeah,
about
bro, I
how
know
you look
there's a
to
lot
have
that
a
goes into
perm.
taking care of that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
one of
that's
my
not someone
ex-girlfriends-
that's not somebody that rushes places to get. He's got to have his shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
can just imagine. It's probably like a beauty salon in his house getting ready. He's probably got his girls over,
And then
right?
you know, so it's like I don't know that he sees it as more important to be there on time than to have his hair be on point. And
You know
I
what's
can't really
fucking-
argue. I can't really argue with that on a certain level. Especially like if I had my hair in a perm, yeah, I would probably feel that being late, that's okay. If the alternative is I go there with like a fucked up perm, like my shit out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, no, I feel you.
so, I mean, you know, I don't know that, but I'm just saying that would be, I would probably ask him before we booked the session. I'd be like, I got to ask you, bro, you know, does that take a long time to get the waves correct? Because if so,
I have to imagine.
give me like a window of when we're going to start. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yo, you know what's fucking... Let me ask you what you think of this. Like, I just had this kind of click in my head. I know they're different, but there's something about them that I feel like has some similarity. Like Snoop and him. Not
Yeah.
like rapping, but there's some kind of like the way Snoop carries himself. I feel like there's some synergy, right, between those.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
Yeah, because it just kind
Definitely.
of clicked for me. I was like, oh, I have seen that. Like when Snoop first came out with that long hair sometimes too and shit. Like he had a piece of that, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll
I
see what
like
happens with him.
how when people would say, you know, what is the B for like Max B, like, and he's like, oh, Bigavelli, and they were like, what? And he was like, oh, because this shit, I forget, it's in an interview.
It was like
somewhere.
Biggie, fucking Tupac, right? He took a bunch of their names and mushed them together.
Yeah, like Biggie, Jay-Z, and Tupac, like Machiavelli, like,
Yeah.
so it's like Max Bigavelli, and I like, and he said,
But
he's
that
like
works
says
so
it
perfect for him.
He's like, he says it's in one of the songs. He's like in the intro or something. He's like, all three rap in one formula. Bro, like that's the other thing too. Like this guy, like his mixtape had so much personality in it. Like that was the thing that made me really, really become a fan, was because I was like on the Hottest in the Street, he's just talking. He's just like saying, but you could just like, you could like visualize like, it's like I own the fucking street, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he thinks very highly of himself. Put it that way.
And it's like, it's so fucking funny because it's like, if you could write those words and hand them to someone and be like, say that, you know, and it's not something you would want on a mixtape at all. But
Yeah,
like,
never
just
feel the same.
just the he was Max B. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, no, I totally know what you're saying.
so it didn't matter what it was. Like, you were getting Max B. That's what you were getting.
Yeah.
You know, and it carried through on all these little elements that is it an album per se? No, you know, but like, it, to me, it's got an energy that varies enough and has different, you know, different like highlights different parts of what this guy's good at enough where it's like, this is a great project. Like, it really is.
I mean, bro,
It's
just
like,
even off of the fucking, like, the 3 or 4 tracks that I think are the best, like, that alone, if everything else was
Yeah.
garbage, could carry the whole fucking
Yeah.
album. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
like
saying?
Bottles of
They're
Patron
better
is
than
like,
great songs.
bro, Bottles of Patron, like, come on,
Yeah,
bro.
shit's ridiculous.
That hook is fucking retarded. It's like so fucking good. It's like,
Bro, I'm walking
man.
around singing his hooks, like, afterwards. I hear Risa fucking,
Yeah.
it don't
Yeah.
take it personal.
yeah,
You know, everybody
he's
gets
just the
down with
coolest
that
dude,
shit, bro.
and like, so, you know, and like he says a lot of stuff that's just so funny, like just in its how casual he says certain things.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it reminded me a lot of Biggie. I could see that's the Biggie influence. Like, he knew how to not overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
But like I'm trying to. I think it's Hawaii 5-0, right? I just don't want to say the wrong because it's pretty much pretty important.
What, is it another Max B track or a fucking Biggie track?
No, it's a Max B song, but it's hold on. For those of you that are you know, being forced to sit there through this, I don't know what you want me to tell you. It's because I care. That's why this is happening. And it'll be worth the wait. I already found it, so you don't have to worry.
How exciting.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the lyrics aren't there, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking. I had a hard time finding his lyrics, so I gotta listen to some of these other tracks a little harder. I want to catch everything.
The song. The only reason I need to, I'm just gonna play a second of it so I know, because that's really all this comes down to is that.
Oh, then
if I
you'll
can
remember
hear
it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Because if it is this song, it's the.
What do you think? It's got a big influence from Biggie?
All right, no, Hawaii 5-0. I want to just talk about this song before. Make sure I touched on this before anything wraps up here. Like the hook on that song, Hawaii 5-0, with Styles P, right? Is like, that's Tupac level vulnerability.
Okay.
In that hook. Like, it's like incredible. And I think because he didn't, like I said, like he didn't have time to really cultivate like a focused catalog. because of the circumstances. Like that
Yeah.
part of his skill set was not acknowledged at all. And it's like when you listen to that hook and you read the fucking words that he's saying, it's like, holy shit, dude! Like it's like a goosebump fucking deal. And it's like, look at what they did to me when I was only 11. I had my heater running through the slums. We ain't have no Christmas tree. Mama was getting high. The neighborhood people considered us bums. And it's like, holy shit. Like he's like really fucking, you know, giving you some not flashy, you know, shit.
Yeah,
like,
but then turns that into a hook that's like you're singing along with. You know, it's really wild.
What's crazy is you don't even realize that's what he's singing when you hear the hook almost. Like the vibe of the song is you can kind of get that there's some sort of depth to it. But it's like when you fucking like break down what this guy's saying in that hook, it's like, holy shit, man. Like he really only got to, even it sounds stupid to say for someone who had that much material, but he really only got to like start getting good.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm curious to see how he evolves, right? Because like a lot of times we'll talk about the evolution of an artist, right? Like that from the first project to third to sixth, and how they've matured as a person and how that shows through their art. And then with Max, we really just got a fucking, you know, two Max going with fucking a bunch of tracks, but not a lot of space between them, right? So you don't really know how he evolves just yet. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
That's to be
that's
discovered.
big. And I think that's a challenge that he's got to also think about, like, because, you know, the climate's changed, he's been away, and then it's like, do you put out what people last heard and loved, or do you come with something that's been evolved now for 12 years and is something different, you know? And that's got to be a kind of inner dialogue that you've got to be at least kind of going more than one direction with it at different.
And I'm sure he's
times.
performing in fucking prison. There's no way he ain't rapping, writing. And
No,
testing
but I'm
his
just
material.
saying, as far as like, if you're gonna put out an album when you get out, like, do you put out, you know, the next door neighbor to what you did already, or are you down the block now because it's been 10 years now?
Yeah. Or are
Right?
you still on the doorstep getting out of the house? You know what I mean?
Well, that could be the case too. Maybe you got to start right where you left off, and then you grow. You know, like, so again, it comes to that intangible stuff where it's like, this is a dude who there's a lot of at least intrigue or interest in you know, artistically, where's it gonna go? Like, like, career-wise, is this guy gonna flourish, or is it gonna be like lost, kind of momentum's lost, and you know, it's a memory.
Is the
of a
timing
time
going to be
period.
right? Is the momentum going to be right? You know,
right,
content going to fit right for that time period?
Does he have the right friends? You know, I mean, like, to be honest, like, that's a big part of it.
Yeah, that's
You
fucking
know?
for sure. The wrong person that builds trust that like can kind of fuck with you could fuck everything up. You know, if they're
I
like,
mean, I'll tell you, like, ideally,
this.
if it was me, I would want Cam involved closely. You know, like I said, I don't know how much Cam cares about Jim Jones's feelings. That's all that really comes down to, in my opinion. But if it's,
I mean, him coming out and all the right moves happening can be like this resurgence of that.
And Cam knows why people like Max. He wouldn't fuck that up. You know, that's always the concern. Is like,
I'm sure he's been
like,
studying.
When Old Dirty Bastard came out of jail in 2003, he signed to Rockefeller, and it was just like a disaster. It was like, they don't know They don't
They
know
don't
how
know
to
what
make.
made him great, right? Yeah.
They don't. No, RZA is the only person who can put together an All Dirty Bastard album. Let's just stop the conversation. Full stop. Fucking, you know.
Yeah, it's like
Maybe
sometimes that
Pharrell.
part's more of the
You
art,
know.
you know?
Yeah, there's like a handful of people, but fucking Damon Dash is not fucking one of them.
I feel that, man. So fucking man, this was a good one. I felt like I said before, man. This one's definitely one of my Max B in general is like at the top of my interest, lists and everything around it in the sense of, first off, I'm still discovering new shit from him, so that's always fun. But then I really want to see what happens as he comes out, because I hadn't been like, when you were younger, following artists and shit and be excited when they put new albums out. Like, I get some of that today with some of the, when like Rock puts out another album or if you hear Action. But like this one's got some meat around it. So I'm going to definitely keep an eye out for it,
Oh, yeah. For sure. So, for sure. I know that they put some stuff out like recently, but I'm not considering anything like until he's fully out. Like, I'm not going to judge any of that because there's too many limiting factors to what
Yeah, bro,
he
you
can do.
can't be rapping over a fucking prison phone or
I mean, even with the
rap.
best, even if you're doing it on a fucking Visit and it's a portable Blue Yeti and
Nah, your
it's
energy
good,
ain't
it's
there.
the
though,
bottom line is you're not. Yeah, it's like you're not in the right. You're not. The dynamics ain't there to bring out the best in you. It's cool to maintain a buzz or whatever, but you're not gonna get that like next level.
Yeah, like
shit.
next time he's sitting on his like round velvet bed with bitches fucking braiding his hair and shit.
Yeah,
That's when all that
yeah.
fucking, you know what I mean?
That's when the new Max B needs to drop. Is
Yeah,
when
with
he hops
mirrors
in the
everywhere.
caddy.
Like, I
when
feel
he,
like that's
when
his
he hops
house.
in the convertible caddy from Scarface.
yeah.
With the Versace fucking shades and the perm.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a fucking character, man. And I feel like there just hasn't been a lot of them, like loud characters like that out in a while that have, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely fucking awesome mixtape. I personally am mad excited to go even fucking check out more because, like I said, there's so much Max B. I'm still not even all the way through it yet, and I've been listening for months.
Yeah, there's plenty of good stuff out there.
Did you want to add anything else, Prezzy, before we kind of wrap this one up?
Nah, man. I would say as far as Spotify, they had instead of trying to go through the 28 fucking Library of a Legend thing, they're like very mixed bag quality wise. I would go on Spotify. They have something called the Wave Pack as one of the albums, and it's like a pretty succinct. Like it's high. They're all high quality, versions of some of his better known songs. It's by no means a substitute for going through some of these classic mixtapes. Like I said, like Public Domain. The whole Public Domain series is crazy. Fucking Domain Diego is crazy. Fucking Rise of the Silver Surfer. I mean, like
The Silver Surfer.
there's a lot of good Max B mixtapes. I would check out those, your classic sites, Mix Unit, fucking Dat Piff.
Well, we could always, as always, put some
Yeah.
fucking links below and shit. So I'll get your Prezzy top picks.
Word.
Yeah, because it's all about discovering and sharing the same shit that we all love. You know what I mean? And fucking,
I agree with that. Yeah.
Finding Max B is something. If you like hip hop, everybody should go find Max B.
Yeah, like if you like, I would say like if you like Nate Dogg, like, because it was, to me, there was always the element of like, this is like a East Coast like Nate Dogg, like.
Yeah, and it kind of brings it back to that Snoop vibe, where that he's got that same.
He had a large role in the sound that Dipset had at that time, and then when he was removed from that equation, it was different. You know what I mean?
Deflated.
Like, so,
Yeah, it sounds. I mean, Max B's like the, he's that ingredient that, like hot pepper, where it's like if it's added, you can tell immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, how some spices you take out and you can't really tell sometimes, but like if it's spicy, you notice when it's not. You know what I mean? It's loud.
Yeah.
It's probably a good way to look at it.
Yeah. He was like the tsunami spice. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like a mini 9/11. All right, great, man. So great fucking mixtape. Max B, get your shit together. Let's make some music. And I guess until next time, have a good one, my man.
Yo, likewise, my brother.